Hello! It's Andy again from the Egocast channel, and I am here reviewing Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons. So without further ado, let's get going. Okay, so here's the story. Your mother is dead, and your dad has really got a bad cough. And he's a little bit sick. But this old man tells you that if you go and travel halfway across the world to find this tree, you might actually be able to make him better. So you go off and do an adventure where you meet strange people who help you in really strange ways. There's no shortage of women to save, and by that I mean hot women. There's monsters to battle. There's environments that are lush and detailed, really awe-inspiring, terrifying, and absolutely gorgeous. There's also friends that you can meet, and sometimes you lose them. This game can kind of go to some depressing and really sad places at times. And there can also be some really messed up stuff. I mean, this game deals with some issues. There's a lot worse things than this in here, so be warned. But at the end of the day, and at the end of the game, there's always love between you and your brother and this chick. Yeah! The graphics in this game are amazing. The beautiful parts are pretty, the dark parts are nice and dark, and there are some parts that are just majestic. Everything looks really cool. The setting really sets the stage for the feel of the game. When it's nighttime, it is pitch black except for the one little sphere of light that you have, and the shadows move beautifully throughout the whole game. And throughout every stage, the world is pretty much laid out for you to where you can look back into earlier sections and see where you'd been before. And I thought that was kind of a nice touch. As far as the animation, this game is great. The ghosts look very see-through and transparent, and the characters interact with each other really well. There's hardly any clipping of body parts or anything like that. Even when they interact with inanimate objects, they look great. And the details of the beasties and other things are great, like the open mouth of the orca. Even the wings on the owl griffin thing that you fly around on, they look really well. The feathers look almost individually animated. It's really good detail. Even when there's a lot of different things on the screen at once moving, it really doesn't slow down very much at all. The water is beautiful. It looks so perfect, where it's translucent in some places and very solid in others. The effects are just fantastic. Even the smallest details, like the ripple in the water when you dive into it, or the bubbles when you're struggling to breathe, it's all there. The music and the sound effects in this game are excellent. Not too much music, not music all the time. Everything sounds exactly like it should. The controls can take a lot of getting used to. No. And they're really frustrating. But once you figure it out, this game has got a lot of opportunities, and it takes every one of them for making a whole lot of fun, really challenging puzzles and strategies that you have to use. But while it can sometimes be difficult to remember that each character is controlled by essentially a separate half of the controller, they really don't detract from the gameplay at all, and it more accentuates the challenge rather than making it a distraction. The gameplay is a huge thing in this game. They really could have dropped the ball, but they didn't. Each character is controlled by both halves of the controller, simultaneously and separately. So you really have to pay attention to that sort of thing while you're going through the course of the whole game. Teamwork is essential. Without it, nothing gets done. Even something so simple as rowing a boat can sometimes be challenging, but nevertheless, it's there and it's cool. There was only 2 times in the game where it glitched up. One time I had to start over pretty much. The other time it pretty much worked itself out, but as annoying as it was, 2 glitches in a game, that's good. As far as fun, what part of this game isn't? Flying on gliders, swinging on crumbling statues, embarrassing big giant ogres. And I mean, look at this. How can you say that's not fun? There's goat races, fish chases. I defy anybody to say this game isn't fun. As far as creativity, this game is second to none. The creativity in this game is amazing. Amazing minds went into this. Using terrain and other characters to overcome obstacles. The rope swing section was a lot of fun. It was long enough that I enjoyed it, but not so long that it became tedious. They did a really good job of using the terrain and other things in the environment to make puzzles that makes getting through to the next section fun and sometimes hysterical. Even when you're confronted by a giant invisible monster, you still get a cool way to get you through. Also, they did a good job of making variations on some of the existing puzzles so that it wasn't always really doing the same thing over and over and over again. They gave you a couple of different ways to do more or less the same puzzle. You really don't find that kind of variety in games these days, so it was really refreshing to see that kind of thing happen. Replay value and extras are my last two categories, and I really can't give this game marks on either of those. They're really the only two categories that I can't say they earn their point. The replay value is not there at all. Like, once you've done something in this game, you've pretty much seen it, you've done it. Unless you're achievement hunting, there's no reason to play this game a second time. And as far as extras, there are none. There are none at all. Like, you can choose stages, but there's no pictures or little video clips that you can see or anything like that. So they don't get either of those. But the overall score, graphics, animation, sound effects and music, controls, gameplay, story, fun, creativity, it gets marks in every one of those, so I give it an 8 out of 10. It's definitely worth playing, definitely worth the time. It's not a very long game, but it's not really a short game either. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of cool things that you can see and do in this game, so I highly recommend it. But if you like this video, please hit the like button. If you don't like this video, please hit the don't like button. If you have any questions or comments or anything like that, leave them in the comments section. And until next time, have a good day, and bye-bye.